Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about dealing with the drought in Marin County and also elsewhere. My guest this segment is Marc Levine, a member of the State Assembly from Marin County. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Steve.
So if I recall from the last drought, 1976, 1977, first of all, there were only 22 million Californians then. Now we have 38. But Marin County is not connected to the State Water Project, so that must make a drought situation really bad for your constituents.
Well, that's right. We rely upon our watershed. So all of the rainfall in Marin is collected, and about 75% of our water comes from the watershed and the reservoirs we have locally. About another 25% comes from north of the county, from the Eel River, and so we're dependent on that as well.
And the situation now looks pretty bleak.
Well, we're looking at a 40-year drought this year again, and so we see our reservoirs being depleted, and it's very true for the rest of the state of California. So while the rest of the state relies on snowpack, well, they're having the same problem with a lack of rain, just like we have in the North Bay.
Now, we should say at the outset that most of the water in California does not go for drinking water. It goes for agriculture.
That's right.
More than 80%, right? And I know you have a proposal to really boost recycled water for agriculture. Tell us about that.
Well, I think what we see right now is that this drought is putting this major sector of our economy at risk, and of course somewhere that we depend on for the food that we all enjoy. So how do we make sure that they've got the water that they need? And last year I had a bill that promoted the use of recycled water, highly treated water, for use in agriculture, which is occurring already but not being maximized. And we need to continue to make sure we're able to use every drop of water twice.
How would the water be conveyed? How would you transport it?
Well, this is a very important point. So we need to build the infrastructure to make sure that we're able to maximize this. In agriculture, they are able to get this type of water delivered to them, but even in the built environment, in our homes or office buildings, in new construction that we have, we need to start considering how we can use recycled water for some of the purposes we need, for example, like flushing toilets. Do we need to use drinking water for flushing toilets in our buildings? And we probably don't, but we need to have the infrastructure to support that.
This seems like it would be a tremendously expensive project, though.
Well, it's like putting pipes in when you're building a house. You just put in another set of pipes. And so I think it's got a certain cost, of course, but tremendous savings. Water is our most precious resource, and we have to look at it that way and plan for our future that way. When we look at some of the challenges, and you had mentioned agriculture earlier, now a lot of our ranchers who are raising cattle are finding out that it's hard for them to count on the water they need for their cattle.
Well, they're killing their herds to make ends meet.
There are drastic consequences to this water shortage. So we all need to find a way to make sure we're able to maximize this precious commodity that water is to all of us.
So you have this project in a separate piece of legislation. At the same time that legislators are trying to compromise on a water bond. Can I assume that this infrastructure project would not be part of the water bond?
It would probably be something different. I think the legislature is in the mood to make sure that the water bond is incredibly lean and focused, and not full of projects that don't have the specific need for the bond and kind of the restoration of our water and environment.
Yeah, the original bond is written in 2008. 2009 was $11 billion, and that's just too expensive for the voters to stomach.
That's right. It was over $11 billion, and the proposals that we're talking about now are about $6.5 billion.
All right. Well, Assemblyman Levine, thank you very much for coming by and talking about this fascinating issue. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. Have a great day.